Greetings. Welcome to today's episode of True Talk, where we are having authentic, unapologetic, and imperfect conversations with amazing women doing amazing things. So today I have with me Miss Cynthia Pierre. She is more than a friend. She's a great confidant. She's my stylist. Don't judge y'all because this is old. She's been running the streets up and down New York, Miami, you name it. So I haven't been able to get her schedule, but she has me right, y'all. So you're more than a friend. You're a lot of things to me, but you're a lot of things to a lot of people. So you're a trusted voice, a light in every space you enter, and a woman whose journey has inspired so many people. Her strength, her wisdom, her humility, and grace are all things that we are so attracted to. So whether she's pouring into other people, whether she's ministering through hair, whether she's getting people's taxes right, and bigger than that, like she's telling people to get a structure, get yourself in order, get your business straight. This is an amazing woman. So today we are going to celebrate Miss Cynthia Pierre, and we're gonna have a conversation, true talk. So let's get started. Let's go to the beginning. You're a hairstylist, you're an accountant, you've moved into the content creation space. Tell us more about yourself or give us some context to just who you are.
So Cynthia Pierre I'm an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. And folks who really know me, they get it. You know, hair really brings out the extrovert personality. And when it comes to the numbers and the taxes, that's where the introvert person comes in. But it's the best of both worlds. And it's a great balance. But overall, I am really a loving person. I go hard for people I truly care about. And sometimes I have to talk to myself to say, Cynthia, you're going too hard. Scale back a little bit. But I'm a person of my word. If I say I'm gonna do something, it's gonna get done. And yeah, there's a lot I can say about myself. But I'm truly a person, I truly love God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and I see that every day in you. So can you tell us what season of life are you in now? Like what's going on with you?
Right now in this season, transformation and balance. And I would like to just give this a little bit of context because earlier this year, I brought a hat from a company, and the company happened to be that of a colleague who went to business school with me in Florida State. And I loved the hat. It had a flamingo on it, and I didn't know what the flamingo represented. And then he reached out to me and said, oh, the flamingo represents transformation and balance. And I was like, this is perfect. It was meant to be because that's the season that I'm in right now. Because there's a lot of transformation happening this year, but at the same time, there's balance, and that's where the structure comes in. And that's the season that I'm in right now.
Okay, so I've mentioned structure, you've mentioned structure, and you've actually been stressed by the lack of structure. Can you give us some context of what that means? And then also, like, what is structure? How does that look in daily life?
So structure is the ability to, we have so many things going on between family, children, church, businesses, jobs, friends, and a host of other things that happen as we navigate life, right? But in the midst of all of that, what are you doing to compartmentalize all of that and to keep yourself grounded so that you're not going over on a ledge? And so when I think about structure, I am so critical about that because when I get up in the morning, I already have an itinerary of everything that is to flow that day. So if something comes up, just random, it's not even going to fall into the schedule. It'll just be something I consider for the next day, unless there's a life and death situation at hand. But it is very critical that structure remains a top focus, especially for women who are trying to navigate entrepreneurship and families, because if you don't have a good sense of that, people are going to sense it. And it's going to lead to destruction, because people don't want to do business with people who are not together and things are just in complete disarray.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So I feel like I'm in a world of chaos, and I've created that chaos. And so when you are like really pushing structure, I say I gotta get myself together, because this frustration that she has where people are not structured, like that's me. And I know that I have to get it together, because this messes me up. And so sometimes you see me in that imperfection. And so I'm doing better, because you are stressing structure, and I see what the lack of structure does. So let's talk for a minute about the other side of it, the tax side. I'm starting a series on financial fitness. It's been in the works for 10 years now, right? In a dream. Been working on it, coaching people. We culturally, we need to get it together. Can you talk to us about how you help people get it together on the tax side, especially in for those of us who are entrepreneurs? Like, what does it mean? What does it mean to have yourself together? And then how do you help people with that?
So I would say that I attended one of your financially fit webinars, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But this is a matter that requires psychological development. There's a lot. Because right now I'm reading a book called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel that talks about the timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. And one of the things that I know for a fact is that there's levels to this, right? And business owners who lack structure, number one, are not going to have a good handle on taxes. And this is a result of things from the past, things that were not addressed, things that they did not come to terms with. Because when you look at someone who was brought up in poverty or did not have anything, or they lack a lot of things, they look at risk a lot more different versus someone who came from a wealthy family, their parents was a banker. They look at things completely different. And so the way that they're going to navigate taxes and business is going to be completely different. And one of the things I take baby steps with clients who, and when I say baby steps, I really break it down, where I pull the tax code and let them have a clear understanding of, when you generate revenue, this is what you're paying yourself. Okay, this is what you're paying yourself. Okay, this is the FICA portion. I break it down. And most of the time, a lot of them have been in the workforce. So they've had a 9 to 5. So now I can go ahead and use that 9 to 5 experience they had and bring it to their level of entrepreneurship, so they can understand how that applies to them, but now they're taking the position of the employer.
Good. Okay, I like that. So, what's one life lesson that you learned the hard way? What was it, and how did it change you? How did it shape you? Shifting this for a minute, because like, you're an amazing person with a really deep level of experience. So sometimes you make things look easy, but what's a hard lesson that you had to learn?
I would say one, I don't really see it as a hard lesson, but this is something I have to work on over time, and it's a lot better. When I get an idea, I want to run with it. I mean, run.
Yes, real fast.
Real fast. And I don't even think, even though I have a budget written down, I am just so adamant about this vision being executed that I don't even take in all the small little pieces in terms of, okay, is this gonna be profitable? And then along the way, I get into all the bells and whistles, and I'm like, okay, Cynthia, let's go ahead and focus on the purpose of this. What is gonna be the return on investment before you sink down into a hole? And so, recently being a part of the Goldman Sachs cohort and now a graduate, putting a financial action plan in place for 2 years worth of work. And now I have to follow these steps to keep me in line so I'm not going overboard with spending for projects. Because eventually what happens is you execute this vision, but when it's time for you to do the analysis on, okay, did I reach my goals, and you're looking at the bottom line, it'll hurt you. Because yeah, it was a great execution, the point came across, but how did we generate any revenue in this process? So,
yeah, and that's what I talk to my my business clients about. Like, you're going to have to generate a profit, like bottom line. You're in business to make money, and if you don't make money, it has to have an investment that is non-financial, that is going to later net money, but it all comes back to money. We don't do things, in life for money, but when you are a business, as an entrepreneur, you better make money or you're going to bankrupt your business, you're going to disrupt and possibly lose your home. And businesses, I have seen it with my own eyes, can destroy marriages as well. So at the end of the day, if you don't know how to produce a profit, go to work, go on somebody's job, and stay there, right? And so, that's just something that, we have to learn. So it's really good that you're very reflective, self-reflective, and introspective. Let's talk a bit about this project that you have coming up that is going to be hugely successful and very lucrative, and is going to take you to another level.
Yes, so you asked a question right before this in terms of what are some of the lessons I had to learn the hard way, and I'm gonna connect that with the event.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing is, in business, you have to understand that not every person that you come across is a stakeholder in your business.
Okay.
Not everybody is a stakeholder.
Okay.
Because some people just may be there, just as a fly on the wall, and you just really don't, they may be a client, but they're not a long-term client, and you're sharing and sharing information that you should not be sharing prematurely, and you're thinking that they're a stakeholder in your business when in fact they're not.
Yeah. Or that they're for you.
Exactly. And so how that connects with everything, I have the first Fashion Fall Hair Show that I am putting together. It's kind of scary because I feel like I'm planning a wedding at this point. But I said those two major pieces at first, having a budget, right? So I have a budget for this event. And I've identified people along the way from all the years of being in the industry that are stakeholders in this event. I even had a meeting today, and the young lady said, oh yeah, just let me know. I got some people for you. People who genuinely have my best interests at heart, and we formed a great bond, and they're ready to get boots on the ground to help me execute this.
Good.
And also in the process, I understood that I don't have to spend money for everything.
Right.
And I was able to secure a huge sponsorship through a large department store, but that'll be a surprise.
you gotta show up to see. And when she says large, she means the biggest.
Yes.
Yeah, all that, yeah. Okay. So I love it. I'm so super excited. So, we're looking at this camera, we're engaged, and I see some colors. Yellow and pink. Is looking real familiar. What does it look like to you?
It's giving me True Regal Beauty.
Ooh, I love it. True Regal Beauty. Tell the folks, tell the people, tell them.
So, if you have not been out in Tallahassee at, What Women Want Expo, or if you haven't been on social media like that, we have a True Regal Beauty page, and this is a collaborative effort between your hairstylist, your photographer, and our makeup artist in her absence. And this collaborative effort produces the best flying dress experience that you will ever see, serving Tallahassee, Big Bend area, Panama City, Destin, and
We can't tell them yet. We
Oh,
cannot tell them the T, but
We can- yes, it's
international, y'all.
international.
You get your passport.
Yeah, you're gonna need your passport for this one.
Yeah.
But yes, when I tell you the flying dress experience that we have curated is top tier, because it's much more than just doing hair and doing makeup. A lot of times as women, we're navigating life, we're so busy, but we don't have a chance to sit back and really just enjoy the moment. And this gives people the chance, the opportunity to really just love on themselves. And then, not only that, you got 3 professionals who are very confident and sure about who they are, sure about their identity, and they're empowering every client they get to serve. And if you can attest to this, every person that we've served, if they could have cried on the spot, they would have cried on the spot.
Yeah. And honestly, since we, true talk, we cried.
Yeah.
We cried. We got an email from a client, and I almost feel like I want to tear up now just from thinking about what she put in that email.
Mm-hmm.
And she came up, or she said something that is our new tagline, and we're going to take it. She said, every woman deserves an experience like this.
Yep, that's what she said.
I was already crying, but that just was like, oh, that's it.
And I read that email at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And when I tell you, it really had me in a very emotional state.
Yeah. It is amazing. So that's our little plug right now. So you need your taxes done. Oh, wait, hold on. You're not taking new clients, are you?
No, I'm not. So I am doing things a little differently. So no more tax prep. I'm focusing more on the tax planning and the bookkeeping aspect of things, because those are the foundational elements that requires a lot of attention and focus, so that tax prep can be done with the breeze.
Yeah. And that makes a whole lot of sense. And then, so no new clients from styling?
So for styling, I'm taking new clients for just about every service except for braid services exceeding 3 hours.
Okay, that makes sense, because remember, we're talking about profit, but not only in the return on investment there, when you do the math, and like, I've done the math when I think about how much you charge and how long it took for you to just get me beautiful, my baby cute. Like, we need to, and it sounds crazy because I'm a client, but from a business strategist, like, we need to talk about increasing prices. Hopefully I get the locked in grandfather price, but if I don't, I understand.
So we have went up on prices. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but we have went up on prices. But one of the things that is happening, a lot of people may not notice it. If you are a client out there, if you have a stylist, if a stylist have been doing hair for a long time, one of the things that is being considered is, scaling back from certain services. It's just like a doctor's office, right? certain doctors are no longer providing certain services because if they've been doing that service for so long, they've reached capacity to provide that service. If they keep on providing that service indefinitely, they'll get to a point where they're like in a bottleneck operation. And that's the same thing with the hairstylist. If we keep on providing services like knotless braids, goddess braids that take this extreme amount of time, we don't have time on the books to provide services pertaining to hair care treatments. So we have to make sure that there's an even flow of services all across the spectrum. And that's where it's important to have a team.
Right.
And so I am building my team too.
Okay, all right. Yes, doing big things. So what would you say to someone who's starting out? And starting out as an entrepreneur? It might be in the tax prep and tax strategy lane. It might be in the hairstylist lane. What would you tell someone who's starting out? Or better yet, what would you have told yourself?
Great question. And this is a response that I'm going to give based on what a recent partner at the Goldman Sachs firm mentioned 2 weeks ago. So I got to give credit to any person that is starting out in entrepreneurship. I want you to always keep at the forefront of your mind that the true currency is not the money. The true currency is the people. The true currency is the people, because I am just so thankful that if I tell you what my clients have done for me, it's just amazing. Because my clients know that I will take care of them, even my elderly clients who have had operations, my clients who have had children, my clients who have had job transitions, and I understand things happen. Folks have gone through divorces, things change. And still showing that human element, right? And showing them, hey, don't worry about it. I'll make up for that. Because they've been coming to me. They patronize my business. So I can't always put the dollar before the person.
Yeah.
Your true currency, and when people see that the human element is present, they're gonna always find a reason to come back into your business. Because I even had a client that said, hey, I know you're charging $400 for this service now, but the reality of it all is if you go up again, I'm gonna talk to my husband and we're gonna make a way for it in the budget, because I don't wanna go nowhere else. I wanna keep coming to you.
That's great. That is excellent. So the last question, well, I have two questions, but the last regular question is, this Goldman Sachs achievement, it was amazing. I watched you from the beginning all the way through the graduation. I was on Zoom graduation.
Thank you.
Yes. So talk to us about that. And really, honestly, how it made you feel and how it helped you level up.
So starting out, the initiative is called 1 Million Black Women, Black in Business. And so initially, there was about 1,000 people who applied to get into this. And there was 300 people selected. And this was a partnership effort between Goldman Sachs and New York University's School of Business. So we had professors from New York University that delivered a curriculum every week. And we met with a business advisor. We were given a mentor that has great revenue stream, and they poured into us. And in addition to that, they needed tax returns. They needed to understand the financial position of your business. Because if you're really wanting to change, go ahead and be transparent. Let them get insight into what the debt position of your business is. What are you generating each month? How many staff members you have? How many contractors you have? Have you had a chance to understand what your services are really generating you in profit? And this allowed me as a business owner, I was working on the business before, but not to the extent that I needed to. And this really made me become more intentional about carving out time in my business, that is specifically devoted to working on the business and not in the business.
Right.
Because it allows you to catch certain things and do an analysis and a diagnostic check. Because some people, they don't ever do a diagnostic check on their business. And they wait for 3-4 years to go by and they realize that the business is running into the ground.
Yep.
And this program allowed for me to be intentional about every aspect of my business, from how I go about hiring people, how I go about obtaining my inventory. And even this weekend, I just came into town today, right? So I have a great relationship with one of my vendors. And so I was able to connect with her and buy products at a lesser cost than I would have bought it elsewhere. So now that helps my bottom line. But also, it helps relationship building. You know, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of little pieces and elements in running our business that we don't really think about. Like, how do you maintain a relationship with your client? What do you do for your client when they come in? You know, with the Brave Bar, we just introduce, giving a non-alcoholic beverage when they come in. Because the women are working, they're coming in, just give them something to help them relax and unwind. But you have to be intentional about every aspect of your business, because that's going to determine, like, if whether or not people stay. And you don't want to get tired and burnt out.
Right. Yeah, that part.
And so this program really just helped me to, they were all in our business, but it was for the right reasons. And it actually challenged me to show up in ways that I was not showing up before. And even for my clients that I'm working with in the tax and accounting space, now I'm going harder with them. Because now I feel like the mantle is a lot heavier now. So because the mantle is heavier on me, I'm not gonna let up when it comes to my clients. I'm putting the pressure on you too, because I want you to be better.
Yeah.
So iron sharpens iron.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Actually, one of my mantras for a long time was do better. Like, do better. And now that you've gone through that program and it was really tough and you made it through, and that's amazing. The people you touch and the people who are connected to you are going to naturally do better because you are doing better. And I just really, really love that. So, congratulations again on that achievement. And I'm going to now give you the opportunity to ask me one question. If you were the interviewer, what question would you ask me? Because again, this is True Talk, and so we have to be true, stay true.
Yes, I feel like I know a lot about you, but one of the things I honestly would want to ask you is, if you were to have a superpower, what would you want that superpower to be?
Okay, so I've never publicly cursed before, but I'm gonna have to curse, right, for a second, because I've always said, I want my superpower to be able to see through bullshit. That's it, that's all. I saw Big Boy Outkast. I read this back in the day, I'm old girl. I saw he had something in there about that, and I said, that's what I want. I've been able to do that, but lately, the BS looks a little different. It's able to mask a bit, but just last week, I said, you know what? I want a new superpower. You know what it is? To know truly who is for me and who is against me. That will cut out a lot, because trust is big, and I ride for the people who are in my circle. My friends, my family, I ride for you. If you're in my circle, like, not to brag, but you got yourself something, because I'm going to be loyal and true to you and do whatever I can to help you. I need to know that everybody in my circle is supposed to be in it. Mm-hmm. And then all the people who I've shut out, because there ain't room for everybody now, but for the people I shut out, like who really is for me beyond, just the regular, like, we'll clap for you, we'll celebrate you, but like who really is praying for you to be better and to do better, and they wish nothing but success for you. So my new wish for my superpower is to know who is for me and who's not.
That's a good one. That's a